Hello and welcome to Total Packers with Matt LaFleur, Larry McCarren along with the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. And Matt, tough ending to a season that had its share of promise and disappointment. What's the feeling right now?
I'd say disappointment. Certainly did not live up to our expectations and the standards that we've set here. So anytime that you fall short of whatever your expectations are, you're going to be disappointed. But I do think there are a lot of lessons along the way, and I was most proud of the fact that our guys, they continued to battle, they continued to fight all the way to the end, and the reality is we just dug ourselves in too deep a hole to get out of.
The Lions game in particular seemed to be lacking in the complementary football that played such a big role in your winning streak.
Yeah, I'd say so. Certainly having a turnover, really two turnovers, going for it on fourth down and not converting, and just not taking advantage of opportunities. And like I've said before, we kicked too many field goals and didn't score enough touchdowns, and ultimately that led to our demise.
Had some discipline issues against the Lions. How are you going to handle that kind of stuff moving forward?
Well, I think that's going to be a point of emphasis going into next season. Certainly cannot have those controllable penalties. That's just allowing your emotions to get the best of you, and that's something that, like I've said before, I take very personally, and we're not going to stand for it. And our guys realize that they made mistakes, that we can't make the same mistake going into next season.
Matt, after the game, you said you were going to take a look at everything. Is there anything in particular you want to take a deep dive with right away?
Well, I think right away you want to sit down and you want to have conversations with the majority of your players, and then it'll go to the coaching staff and then all the support staff. Really want to take a look at things that we did well and things that we have to improve upon. And like I said, every year is a learning experience, and a lot of times in your failures, you're going to learn more than when you have success. So hopefully we'll make the necessary adjustments so that we can go into next season and have a much better season.
On the national level, it's all Aaron Rodgers all the time. What's the game plan with him?
Something that we're going to go through and have the conversations with him and see where it stands.
While we're in the neighborhood, could you give us a progress report on Jordan Love?
Yeah, I think Jordan has shown a lot of promise, certainly has progressed. I think you see it in the way he just carries himself in our building and the performance that we see on a daily basis out there on the practice field. Certainly, I think just the urgency is there for him, and I like the progress he's made.
I believe this week exit interviews are on the agenda. Are you learning anything about your guys?
Yeah, you always take a lot out of that, but just making sure that these guys have a solid plan from now until we get back together in April, making sure that just a lot of these guys, especially the rookies, were in a different spot a year ago. They were training, getting ready for the NFL Combine. They had a set plan for them, and now they're kind of on their own. So you got to make sure that the plan in place is right for them and that they take advantage of this window.
Matt, are your special teams finally where you want them?
Well, I think there's always room for improvement, but certainly it's an area that we put a lot of resources into, and I think that we improved and really changed our identity and changed our culture in that phase. And I think that's a big time credit to Rich and the willingness from everybody involved in this organization to make that commitment.
Well, attitudes are contagious, and I love the attitude Keyshawn Nixon brought to your football team. I mean, he's a special guy, and that's outside of his kickoff return ability, which is serious business.
Yeah, he's a great player. He plays with a great edge. Definitely gave us a legitimate threat back there as a kickoff returner. And, we'll see what the future holds, but he's a guy that we definitely would be inclined to want him back.
Matt, on Monday, you called this season a complete failure. Weren't you being a bit harsh? I mean, As you mentioned, your guys hung together. You kept that team together. Isn't that kind of a harsh description?
I would say in some senses, yes. I just think in terms of the expectations that we had set, for the team, and certainly not making the playoffs is a big time disappointment. It's disappointing for everybody involved in this thing, and there's a lot of hours that go into it, and certainly disappointed for our fans as well.
Thank you, Matt. Coming up, Packers defensive lineman Jarran Reed. Stay with us. Total Packers with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers, by Bellin Health, and by Johnsonville. Welcome back. This one-on-one is brought to you by Quick Trip and Guaranteed Fuel. You know, Jarran, the play that says it all about you. The Lions run a gadget play. Meantime, you're at the line of scrimmage. You get cut down, but you jump up, sprint downfield, and actually make the tackle on Swift, a full-fledged running back, 22 yards downfield. What inspires you to play with that kind of intensity?
I wanted to win. I'm pretty sure the other 10 guys out there did too. Also, formation recognition. So I knew it was some type of play before the snap because of the formation that they was in, especially being in the boundaries. And so actually I was trying to call my teammate out because I seen it. And I just know, like, when I seen it, I got cut. I'm like, dang, I gotta get up, run, just run. That's the only thing in my head, everything's on the line. Coach LaFleur had said it when we was in halftime, leave it all out there. It's the last 30 minutes, that's all I was trying to do.
It comes to an end against the Lions. Was it doubly tough to handle because of the fight you waged just to get there, to be playing for a playoff spot?
I just feel like our backs were against the wall, the whole season. And, we definitely wanted this bad. I think every player went out there would have thought of, we're going to give our all, and we're going to do something that nobody counted us to do the whole season, which is make it to the playoffs.
Jarran, what enabled you guys to change it from miserable to respectable, to 8-8, to 8-9 as it finished? What enabled you guys to do that? That's not easy to do.
Yeah, I think it's just that thing you said is respect for the work, respect for the preparation, respect for the play style, everything, that we got to go out there to do to win a game. I mean, nothing is given in the NFL on any Sunday. So you got to go out there each Sunday, you got to play with your all.
Jarran, 5 years in Seattle, 1 in KC, and your first year in Green Bay. Are you glad you signed with the Packers? How's it worked out for you?
I'm ecstatic, man. It was great. I love it here. We're not going to talk in past tense, but, it's great. I felt at home. I felt like I did back in Seattle because Seattle was home for me before I left. I found another home here. I had a great year. I had some great relationship with these guys. There's something I want to hold on to.
I asked Kenny about this last week. Did you and him become instant buddies?
We actually did. It was one of the first guys that really took me in, and Kenny's like a brother to me now. So I guess you can tell on the field how it relates with each other. It's a real good friend. I think this is something that's beyond football right about now.
I'll be honest with you. I've been around here forever, as long as Kenny's been here. I've never seen him smile this much as when he's horsing around with you. Yeah. I mean, I think you make Kenny a happier person.
Yeah, that's my guy, man. We gotta keep him laughing, keep him going. It's just when you find genuine people, man, it's just like that. And that's just more than football. That's just outside of here. Just kicking it, our families kicking it with each other. Hanging out and stuff.
What's at the top of your list of things to do during the off season? Do you have stuff you like to do?
Yeah.
Besides rest?
Yeah, rest is definitely for one. I think I'm gonna go somewhere sunny. It's not good. I don't want to. I'd rather be here in the snow playing football, of course. But you know, a little sun won't hurt. I'm not used to this much snow.
Welcome back. This week's Chalk Talk is brought to you by Network Health. At Network Health, we do what's right, even when it's not easy. It's who we are. Health insurance is what we do. Darnell Savage ended the season back in the starting lineup, and he is back better than ever. Darnell celebrated his return to the starting lineup with a pick-6 against the Vikings, then against the Lions. He's reading through his receiver to the quarterback. He breaks on the ball and breaks up the pass. Now it's Darnell working against Amon-Ra St. Brown, who came into the game with 100 catches for over 1,100 yards. Simple out route. High percentage completion, but not on Darnell's watch. He breaks up another pass, and you cannot do it any better than that. On this play, the Lions have a run-pass option, with the pass option being a one-man screen across from Darnell. You can see him attack it, but the Lions are using the run option. Number 32 has the football, and he bounces it outside. And Darnell goes from defending the pass option to defending the run option in a big way. He drops DeAndre Swift for a loss of 4. When it comes to the rough stuff, Darnell had 11 tackles against the Lions, and that's a new career high. Not a season high, but a career high. When Darnell got benched, he didn't respond by pouting. He responded by performing.
In life, you're going to go through things. We're all human, so you just got to find a way to kind of bounce back and respond. And you know, that was my main focus, and I feel like I did a good job of doing it.
Total Packers with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by Network Health, by your Wisconsin Toyota dealers, and by Spectrum One. For 20 years, every Packers touchdown helped defeat hunger, thanks to the Sargento Touchdowns for Hunger program. Through the 2022 season, Sargento has donated $84,000, shared by Hunger Task Force in Milwaukee and Paul's Pantry in Green Bay. Welcome back to Total Packers with Matt LaFleur. And Matt, if we could, let's focus on some of your rookies, beginning with Christian Watson. Is it kind of exciting to think about getting creative with a player with his kind of talent?
Yeah, you just try to find ways to get him the ball because he's got legitimate speed. That was on full display throughout the course of the season. And it'll be great for him to go into an offseason fully healthy. I know this past season coming out of OTAs, having the surgery, missing all the training camp, missing the preseason games. I think it took him a while to get reacclimated and to get entrenched in our offense. And so big time potential and really excited about his future.
How much of a godsend was 4th round pick Zach Tom? He played up and down the line of scrimmage at a moment's notice and played well.
He played really well. And you can't have enough guys like that show that versatility, and that the moment's not too big for him. And he stepped in and did a great job all season long.
How about your second first rounder, Devontae Wyatt? As the season wore on, it seemed like he was, quote, getting it and heading in the right direction.
He sure was. The more he played, the better he did. And you could see his ability to make splash plays and get to the quarterback. So he's another guy that I'm really excited after he gets a full off season. He knows what to do now. We can kind of let him loose.
Thank you, Matt. Coming up, the last word from the coach. Don't go away.
We're here at Elmore Elementary right now, talking to the kids, doing a Play 60 event, encouraging them to eat healthy and get some physical activity in. A lot of kids, I feel like they think, oh, well, eating healthy and, working out and getting physical activity is only important if you want to be an athlete. But really, every kid should be able to get physical activity and eat healthy just to be a healthy person and grow up to be healthy. It's just about, reminding yourself, who you were before you got into this position. That's something that I was talking to them about. You can talk to them and maybe be someone that they'll listen to more than their parents who they're hearing eat their vegetables every single day. It might, hit a little different coming from, someone they look up to. So it's very important. It was really surreal. Like, obviously I know these kids are big Packers fans and I know how much we mean to them, but nothing compares, walking in and seeing them literally scream at the top of their lungs. And it's like, it's something that's really surreal, and it kind of just reminds you of how much of an impact you have on the youth. It's definitely energizing, especially, when you get to the end of a long season, kind of gets very repetitive doing the same thing. So, having some energy like this from kids to brighten your day is really special.
The Last Word with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by Construction Business Group and Wisconsin Operating Engineers. Welcome back. Time for the last word from the coach. And Matt, in a football sense, what's next on the agenda?
Well, we're going to look at every area of our program and see what ways we can get better. And like we've talked about, there's a lot of room for improvement, and it starts by just looking and kind of reflecting on the season, things we did well, things we need to change. Every area from practices to meeting structure, everything you can think of, we're taking a look at.
Okay, Matt, it's time for the annual question. Have you ever seen your own program?
I'll get a chance to watch it this weekend, unfortunately. Yeah.
If we have a watch party and we have like snacks and salty stuff to eat, will you come to it?
If there's some adult beverages, I definitely will, Larry.
All right, Matt, thank you for the entire season. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. Until next time, whenever that is, take care.